Hi, this is Anthony from Soil Dynamics. Here we are in our home veggie patch that we've developed over the last 3 or 4 years. There's a series of 6 wicking beds where we've built up the soil from scratch, and you can do a quick pan around. So we've ripped out all of our
hello Nuggies.
all of our winter crops, cleaned up most of the beds, left a couple of remnant plants that are still going. And here's one of our first instructional videos of how to use some of our products. And I'll just note that you may notice in the background there's some dead grass. We just wanted to clear up that this is not glyphosate. We're actually trialling a brand new organic herbicide that's showing really good promise on a number of different weeds, and in the background here is this kikuyu grass, which is very hard to kill, and it's working very well. But stay tuned for more information on that. But what we're going to do now is we're replanting some seedlings for our spring and summer crops, and we're just wanting to show how to use a couple of our products. The first one is the Nutrient Rockstar, which formerly known as Rock Dust Plus. This situation is where this is a well-established garden bed which we've made from scratch. There are some other information on our website about that, but essentially we've built this soil up. It's a really good soil. It's we did essentially an in-situ composting lasagna type soil building process where we got fresh seaweed from the beach, alternated it with straw and compost and the rock dust. But this situation is where we know that the soil's in a really good condition, so what we're doing here is a maintenance application in preparation for planting some seedlings. So other situations will be you may be starting a garden bed from scratch, and the application rates might be a little bit different, but we'll go through that in a minute. So the Rock Dust Nutrient Rockstar is a foundation fertilizer that we created as a broad spectrum product that's has got a lot of material in it. There's 17 ingredients in this. It's based on basalt rock dust, which is a very comprehensive mineral rock, which has over 60 minerals in it on its own. It's then fortified with about 16 other ingredients, including additional trace elements, calcium, magnesium, potassium, and other organic biostimulants that really provide a broad spectrum product that's got everything in it. It hasn't got a lot of one thing, it's got a little bit of everything. And an important part of the product, the way it's made, is that it goes through a microbial digestion process that releases the minerals into a plant available form and supplies food for the organisms that are not only in your soil but are in the materials that it was made from. For example, the basalt on its own is a really good bacterial food source, and you'll notice that although there are microbes in this product, the microbes that are in it are essentially the endemic bacteria and fungi and other microbes that are on those materials. So, for instance, the basalt will have bacteria on them that can digest the basalt. The guano, which is the organic phosphate source which is in the product, has phosphate solubilizing bacteria that can solubilize that phosphorus, and the same goes for all the other ingredients. Some of them are zeolite, which is another rock mineral, bentonite, which is a really good clay that has the ability to hold onto nutrients, and many other things. So this situation, we're about to put some brassicas in this bed. So what I'm about to do is show you a typical way to use the product. You might want to just have a closer look at the product. It's very fine grain. It is a dust, and that was intentional in that it's got a much more intimate ability to interact with the soil, and there are both insoluble and slow release and immediately available minerals in the product. But it feels really nice, it looks really nice, and you can just see the mineral in it. So what we're going to do here is just show you how to put a maintenance application on. So we've cleaned up the bed, it's nice and tilled, and for a maintenance dose we basically go a good handful per square metre, 1 to 2 handfuls per square metre, and it's really a case of just feeding the chooks. So we scatter it out like that, just so you can see it where it lands. And in a say if you were building a bed from scratch or in a garden bed that was say in a new house, or you've just built it up, you may want to go at a higher rate to really build up that foundation of minerals that's in this. So a high dose is really doubling what I've just done there. And at the end of the day, it's not, in this situation, it's not going to matter that we put a little bit more on, because you can't really overdo it with this product. So in for example, if you were planting a bigger plant in the veggie garden, or a fruit tree in the ground that's say in a 200 or 300 ml pot, you can go 1 to 2 kilograms in that hole under the fruit tree that you would then mix into the soil. So I'll just complete this bed at the maintenance dose. And I may want to add, if it's on a windy day and it is quite a dusty product, it's probably a good idea to wear a dust mask, but I think that's fairly common sense. So that's a pretty good application there. You can do 1 or 2 things, but normally we will we'll rake that in, which is, where's the rake? Bettina, behind you. So really just scratch that in, just so it's got contact with the soil, back and forth. Hello neighbours.
Now it's ready for planting.
So now we're ready to go.